Ladies and gentlemen, Victor Brooks, The Victor Brooks Show, Facebook Live Quarantine Series. Thank you all so much for coming back every Saturday and Sunday to experience these conversations we have with some incredible artists, some incredible people who are just sharing their positivity during this time we're all going through right now. And I mean, in no way are we negating or playing to the left what the seriousness of what the world is going through right now. No way. What we're just doing is kind of reminding ourselves and passing it on to others that there's always something we can smile about, feel blessed about. You dig? Positivity, positivity posse. And as always, I always like to give, when we first start our platform every weekend, I want to give a major shout out of respect to our first responders, our doctors, our lawyers, the people who, as we say, boots on the ground, you know, right there doing what they can to preserve the life and even the positivities of people going through the corona firsthand, hand on. I want to give it up to our truck drivers, you know, who are truck driving on the highways and byways, and the times we do get out to go to the store, it's something in there for us to buy. Thank you. I want to thank all of our teachers who are online right now teaching our babies, keeping that education going for them. I want to thank our babies for dedicating your time and listening to your teachers and your parents. We're going to get through this, y'all. We're going to be all right. And that is another reason why I always like to say, this is what this format is about. And today, ladies and gentlemen, I am extremely honored. I'm extremely honored. I'm excited. As you see on my moniker all the time, right over my shoulder in this corner of my house, I call this my inspiration corner. Over here, you got Marvin Gaye, you got my grandfather, Norris Turney. Down here, you got my little, you know, accomplishment. But what is the biggest one that you've always seen, even before this show? And anybody that knows me has been to my home. You know this picture for years. It's always on my wall. It's the moniker, it's the poster of Watt Stacks. And the band that you see in the white, right there in the center of that, that's the Bar-Kays, ladies and gentlemen. And my guest today is Mr. Larry Dotson of the Bar-Kays, the gentleman you see right there. Brother Larry, thank you for joining us, my brother.
Victor, it is absolutely my pleasure, man. You know, as we were kind of saying off the camera, we got a lot of time right now, partner. Yeah, and I want to give you kudos, man, for those shout outs, man, because these are some troubling times, but I admonish all of my friends, and relatives. We got to exercise faith before fear. You know,
faith before fear.
Faith before fear, and that will get us through it. We will get through it.
That's
we will
right.
get through it. We've gotten through things like this before. This is a little tough, but but the band plays on.
And the band plays on. And ladies and gentlemen, not only is Larry Dotson, as we've grown to love and respect over the years of his almost 50 plus years in this industry as a trendsetter of music, fashion, okay? And we'll get into all of that. But also, Mr. Dotson, songwriter, singer, author, the book of his autobiography that is out at the moment, which is an incredible piece where he gets really, really, really real of his life, of his journey, and the band plays on. Mm-hmm. Why and what made you go autobiography, Brother Larry?
Victor, I'm gonna just tell you, as I've told many people, you know, when I do interviews, I had no thoughts about writing a book about my life.
Okay.
A book, period, you know, but my son, Larry Jr., and he does my day-to-day stuff and kind of keeps my calendar done for me, and as well as marketing and some other great things done for the Bar-Kays. So we sit in the mornings and we plan our weeks and we plan out what I'm going to do for the month of the week. So and I would always tell him stories, man, you know, old war stories about the Bar-Kays. Some I can repeat, some I can't, you know.
Right.
And after so many of them, he said, "Pops, please, will you start writing these things down?" And John said, "Why don't you write a book?" And I said, "Well, oh man, I don't know. I'm traveling, I'm touring, I ain't got time." Blah, blah, blah. And long story short, I took his word and I started to write notes, and he was instrumental. He bugged me about it, man.
Yeah, okay.
And so he made it as easy for me as I could, So I
Okay.
started keeping notes, and I started going into town on tours. I would go in a day or so early, and reflect back, and
Yeah.
found a publisher, and I started to pour my soul out, man. I mean,
Yeah.
it took me a while to
Right, right.
kind of gather the thoughts of, because we talking about, at that point I had been, for this 47 years, and
Mm-hmm.
the only singer the Bar-Kays ever had.
Right.
So, and I tell you one thing that kind of turned the whole journey around with the book, as I was turning my notes in to Sheila Bell, who was like my editor. She
Okay.
said, like, you're glossing over this stuff. She said,
Oh, okay.
I want you to say ouch, when you start writing. I want the tears to run down your eyes.
Oh,
I want you to
wow.
get up and walk out the room, get the lump out your throat,
There you go. There you
So I
go.
did. I was very candid. And she said, no matter what it is, no matter how bad you think it is, it's going to become ministry, because God got to do it, and look at it that way. And from that point on, I told stuff that I had never really said to anybody, not only about my journey with the group, but prior to that.
Yes.
Just letting the person know me
There
for
you
who
go.
I am, what makes me up. And the peaks and the valleys, and I didn't bring anybody else's stuff into my book.
Mm-hmm.
This
Mm-hmm.
is strictly about the life story of Larry Dotson,
Mm-hmm.
from the very beginning, all of my desires early on through the peaks and valleys, and the wonderful things and the discouraging things that have happened while I was in the group. I talk about a lot of stuff, man. That did make me say ouch, but I find that when people read the book, they can't put it down. They say, "Oh my God, Larry!" It's an easy read. It's not very long. But that's what got me into it, and it was therapeutic. Vic.
There you go.
I got a lot of stuff out of me that was
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
And I say, I'm gonna help some folks, and then I'm gonna let some people know how it really happened, and how we were kind of stupid at times, and then how we exceeded all beliefs, and how we were ended up being some really incredible, a really incredible band.
Man, I mean, much respect on that, man. Just from the fact of the honesty that you poured in to like you said, telling those stories, telling those whys, telling those mountains and valleys of your personal journey. I mean, just that's not easy for anybody, I don't think. But especially for somebody of your iconic status and career, and the band plays on, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to get more in depth of that autobiography, and the importance of this addition to our lives. But I want to, just for a tidbit of those. We're talking about the Bar-Kays, 11 albums total, right? We're talking about 5 gold albums, 1 platinum, 20 plus top singles, and over 50 years of a career. We're talking about songs like Cold Blooded 1972 album, Too Hot to Trot 1976, Flying High on Your Love, Light a Fire. The list goes on and on, all the way down to Night Cruising, okay, in 1981. And each one of these created albums in their own right have become signatures in all of our life's journey. When you think back, and your fans think back to the times of their life, the good times of their life, even the party times of their life, just the riding around of their life, the Bar-Kays is in their life story. The music is just part of the soundtrack. Even down there, it's not just the upbeat funk up. Okay, we're talking about your vocal coming through in anticipation, and the ballads of coming through that are just. I was talking to Clifton Davis earlier, and we were going back and forth about when you hear that Larry Dotson vocal come on that track, that's Larry Dotson.
Thank God.
Okay, but take us back to when the Bar-Kays were originally an instrumental group, right?
Right.
Pre-Larry Dotson.
Right.
When you joined, Brother Larry, what was that? Was it a whole trip that now I got vocals here? What was that experience about?
Scary. I tell you, first of all, understand the Bar-Kays were bigger than life in Memphis, Tennessee. They were like incredible. They were, everybody loved them. Everybody looked into them. Because even while they were in high school, they recorded their very first record, which was Soulfinger, which was a million seller. Understand, man, they in high school with a million selling record. That's #1 in most every city in the country. So, but they were instrumental groups. So when I was joined, at that time, I was singing with the group called the Temprees, who later on went to do a lot of great music and had a lot of big hits on their own. But when I joined the band, I was 19. I was 19. I joined the band in March of 19. I got married in August of that same year, still married to the same lady. But it was so scary because I'm saying, like, what are you guys doing? You want me to be the lead singer for the Bar-Kays? What are we going to do? You know, but little did I know, they were already preparing music and had gotten music from some of the writers at Stax. And it was edgy stuff, man, because Stax was a soul R&B company, but the stuff that we were doing was like a combination of funk and soul and R&B and rock. So we were bad boys, man. We were the bad boys of Stax. And I was given the job of breathing life into this music. And I tell you, and I say this at any point, you know, to me, my voice has just been okay, but it's been distinct. You know, one thing you did say that I will agree with you. When you hear me, you know me.
That's right.
So that's been a signature for the group from day one. I started to do that stuff, man, and I jumped into an album which was really, to this day, one of the best albums I've ever done with the band, called Black Rock, way before its time. I mean, just the direction that we were going, the length of the songs was out of the ordinary. It was just, the content of the music was just different. And from that point on, we weren't shaking the charts at that time, but we were getting very noticed from our dress because it was different. It was like, you know, I guess next to Sly and the Family Stone, we were probably the most different dressing act out there, just leotards and white hair, and you know, my hair was always straight, and you know, it was just different, but it was attractive. It was interesting, and it was ahead of its time, and that's sort of been the signature of the group. So 30 albums later, here I am, you know.
There you are. That's right.
It's been an incredible journey, man, you know, but it was breathtaking for me to do that. And thank God I had a really good producer, and who later became my manager. He knew I was scared. I hadn't had any really recording experience, and his vision for what the singer should be, he had to put that into me and not take me out of my comfort zone, but let me know you got something inside of you that needs to come out on this tape, because you're different.
Please correct me if I'm wrong. Are we talking about that incredible songwriter producer Alan Jones?
Absolutely.
There you go. I mean,
the Bar-Kays. Absolutely,
man. Also, if I'm not mistaken, a record label, Onyx Records, was he was in the studio, he was writing, plus he had his record label.
Absolutely, you know, and you know, we bought Onyx Studios. At that time we had 2 studios. We had a studio which later became House of Blues. At Onyx, we kind of set the stage up because we were always known for our stage annex and big productions and Snakes and Fire and Fog and stuff. So it was just a treat to go see the Bar-Kays, even if we didn't have a top 10 record, man. Just what we were gonna do next.
Gotcha.
But he was that guy. In fact, everything, basically, he designed all our outfits. And I'm gonna tell you something. The drummer in this picture, you can't see it, but the vest that he had on was made out of real silver dollars. Alan drilled holes in every silver dollar that he had. The chains that I have on my, that connect the 2 arm, the 2 hinged arms, he made that himself. He was an idol maker. He was what you see on TV, bigger than life, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's evident. It's positive evident because also I believe he had an involvement with Albert King as well, too, right?
He produced Albert King. He co-produced the Hot Buttered Soul album. See, we played on the Bar-Kays played on Isaac Hayes' first 5 albums, which was Hot Buttered Soul, Revolutionary Album, Shaft, To Be Continued, Like Moses, all of those albums. Alan was right there in the midst because he played with Alan. Well, Alan played with Isaac on the road. He's a real good bass player.
Gotcha. Now, see, when you mentioned that you had your journey with the Temprees, and then moving in as the voice in front of the Bar-Kays. First of all, where did the name Bar-Kays come from? Thank you, Wendy. Thank you, Wendy. Where did that name come from?
Wendy, well, Wendy. Okay, you all is Wendy. I know you are. Okay. And everyone else is okay. So here's the combined version. First of all, Bar-Kays, when they went to their first gig. Now I joined the band, so it was a train running when I joined, so the name was already there. When they went to their first gig, they didn't have a name. It was some crazy name. So there was a sign they passed. They had Barclay Rum on it.
Okay.
You follow me?
I got you.
They in the car. We don't like our name. We ain't got no real name. So they looked up and they saw that, and they took some C's out and put a K. and when by the time they got to the gig, they were like,
right on. Okay.
Does that make any sense? Okay. And the name kind of stuck because later in life, you know, and then the dream became mine as well. Because we always wanted a ranch like Otis Redding did. Otis had maybe 100-acre ranch, his own plane at 26 years old. Back in the 60s. Go ahead, Otis. You know what I'm saying? So we want to be just like him when we grew up, you know.
Right on.
So Bar-Kay Ranch, you know, Bar-Kay Ranch was what became a significant name for us for whenever we decided to do that. Oh
man, thank you for that bit of history. And I'm sorry, it just hit me. I said, yeah, that's a great question Wendy threw out there at us. But you know what? And in '76, now what kept over the years? What was it that really made that Bar-Kay sound? How would you, and you know, if I'm sick, I'm going to a doctor. If I need some legal advice, I'm going to a lawyer. But when I talk about the funk, I have a funk master here with me. So I need to know, what was that funk of the Bar-Kays? What is that?
It was something that was in each one of us individually, into some degree. Because that's something you just can't make nobody do. You know, it's going to have to be kind of in there for them jumping. Alan was wise enough to handpick everybody that was in the band after the plane crash.
Okay.
Plane crash initially killed 4 of the members of the original guys. And James survived, James Alexander, who is still now in the group as well. He survived because the plane only held so many people, so somebody had to stay behind and turn the rental cars in. And the other guy who survived was the trumpet player, one of the most incredible trumpet players I've ever heard, Ben Carley. He went down with the plane. He survived. He held onto the cushion, and he couldn't swim. You know, God got him through that. But I'm just saying all that shit. And after that, James reformed the band as he thought the band would, the original guys would want him to do. But everybody was sort of handpicked, from the keyboard player, Winston, to the guitar player, to the drummer. So Alan knew what he was doing, you know. And I would tell you that Sly and the Family Stone have had a big influence on me and the Bar-Kays for a very long time. If we all considered ourselves individually, we weren't just hitting on all that much, but collectively you couldn't beat us.
Come on now.
And our signatures became the horns. Signatures became the way Winston did his lead licks. You could always tell we were going to have a good synthesizer lead lick on that song. And of course, my distinctive voice, which anytime you heard just a little bit of it, you knew that was what was going on.
There you go.
We tried to make songs that made the video go off in people's minds, you know.
Okay. And not only, you know, you mentioned the horns, and in growing up in Memphis, that Memphis sound, that Memphis feel, that historical, Stax Records, and, you know, you mentioned the original Bar-Kays. There's an essence to that Memphis sound, and the horns, i.e. Memphis horns as well. Right. And the inclusion of that into the Bar-Kay sound, like you mentioned, and all of the details. But I also remember you all use a lot of percussion. The timbali solo, and one of my favorites, Holy Ghost. I mean, come on, man. You know, the timbali.
Yeah, that's a great point. See, there's another kid that we picked up. Matter of fact, we picked him up, and we picked another keyboard player because because for those who don't know it, the Bar-Kays have always been sort of ahead of their time. They were always an interracial group. Always, there was always a white keyboard player. Even after the plane crashed initially, they replaced the other white keyboard player with another one. But the timbale player, he was an exceptionally good singer and timbale player. We picked him up, and then we picked this other cat up called by the name of Mark Banham, who played Moog bass, which became a distinct part of our sound. The combination of the Moog bass and James Alexander for the bottom end, the horns on top, Winston on the lead lines, my vocal. It was that was what composed the Bar-Kay sound.
See now, and ladies and gentlemen, now I understand why in so many grooves you just kind of have to drop a couple more times when you're on the dance floor because of that bottom.
Right, absolutely.
We just got the techniques of that funk, of that sound of the Bar-Kays. And now during this time, okay, the Bar-Kays, you're doing your thing, you're on the charts, and I believe the Bar-Kays toured with George Clinton for a while. Like, what was that experience? How did that happen?
It propelled our career because kind of rewinding a little bit. Stax ended up closing.
Okay.
Prior to it closing, the Bar-Kays were the backup band after Booker T and MGs decided they were just kind of like, they were the original backup band that played on all the music for Johnny Taylor, Sam and Dave, all those guys.
Yes.
As they kind of got rich and kind of dwindled off, we were right there to pick up the slack.
Okay.
So we started being the house band for the whole Stax roster. And I was telling Wendy earlier, we played on the very first Emotions record.
Come on.
So I Can Love You. James will always tell me about that. I mean, I didn't have anything to do with it, but James said. So it was like that. Albert couldn't read or write. So Alan Jones, our producer, he produced them. And there were some records where I would have to be up in the control room, and Albert didn't like for you to put anything in front of him, and the lyrics. Okay. He was very proud. He was very big too.
Yeah, I got you.
He would sing and play live with our band. So I would say, I love you, baby. And he would, I love you, babe. Yeah. And I would say the next line, and he would do that. And that not only everything, but it was amazing that he could take the line, hear me sing, and play at the same time. Right. That was like incredible. But 1975, Stax closed for good. Bankruptcy, they're gone. And we ended up signing a really, really huge deal with Mercury Records. And Shake Your Rump to the Funk was the lead song for that. And George, who was a friend of ours, he let us co-star on his Mothership tour, and Cameo opened up. And Cameo opened up. We came on second, and George and the Mothership and all Parliament, they came on last, along with Boosie and all those guys. And we did 90 cities. All were sold out except for maybe 8, which just didn't work. All of them.
I mean, that's that funk invasion, that funk. I mean, funk was taking over. Am I correct during this time?
Absolutely. You know, the Mothership tour was the bomb, man.
Oh yeah. That's when we first saw. Yeah.
After we came off, I'm sorry.
No. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Brother Larry.
After we came off of that tour, we was hot as fish grease.
Right on.
It was over. It was just as long as we put good music out, we had a staple place in radio, and we didn't let radio down, man. We kept popping them out. One behind the other. But George Clinton perpetuated our career. And Cameo as well, Cameo wasn't quite as high as we were at that time, because we were just at that time. But later in life, what Cameo turned out to be an incredible Larry Blackmon. And those all were incredible rides, man.
That's right. Now let's talk about you, because I'm getting a lot of people, the fashion influence that the Bar-Kays had. I mean, you were mentioning how Brother Alan was personally making certain things. The Bar-Kays fashion. And there's been over the years, has always been camps that say this about the fashion of the Bar-Kays and how it influenced other bands afterwards. Okay, in my opinion, I believe, like you gave it up to Sly, talk, about being an influence. In my opinion, and I have a huge camp behind me that agrees the same thing, Rick James learned a lot. Rick James and all of his incredible genius of music and as well, but also in the fashion statement. Do you get that sometimes? Does people tell you that?
Of course, and I would tell you, Rick and I were really good friends, man. Yeah. I mean, really, probably too good of friends. Okay. We were both very bad boys during the time, but we had a real good respect for each other. And there was when Unsung did the piece on us. Rick used to come to the shows and he used to watch. He used to watch, man. But when we did Unsung, they had a picture that they showed of me and Rick right together.
What?
And my mouth just dropped open. Not because I didn't know, but I saw it was just we could have been twins. The hair, Rick developed the hair. He took the hairstyle. He took just a lot of the influence. Yeah. But we all sort of robbed each other a little bit.
I can dig it.
During that time, I'm gonna take a little something from you. You take a little something from me, and the band plays on. But it was all good. It was all good. Like I said, Rick, until he died, man, we were really good friends. Like the last tour he did we were on that tour.
Look at that, man. I mean, to be able in your position and then to be able to relate a story of one of your, and I'm going to use the word proteges in some ways, very good friend, to be able to have that as an addition to your life, and later, of course, because of Rick's career, so many millions of us adore and respected and still respect his career.
Surely.
It just brings me back, Brother Larry, to your story in your autobiography, the story of Larry Dotson, the man. Your, like you said, pre-Temprees, the Temprees, your musical journey, the Bar-Kays, on and on. Your retirement. With that, Brother Larry, the ups and downs that you personally came through. I mean, I can't even say I can only imagine, because I can't. And there are millions of others who can't imagine having to deal with the ups and the downs. Where will this book take us in your up and down journey, Brother Larry?
It will take you right there. I did not hide a thing. I gave it to them blow by blow by blow. And when the money was coming and we were on the road 5 days a week, we would only come home to drop the money off, kiss the baby, kiss the wife, get back on the bus, get on. And as you hear a lot of times, the stress of trying to keep yourself up and make yourself go to sleep.
There you go.
Self-medicating, man, and it got out of hand. It got out of hand, as it often does. And fortunately, I just had to get on my knees, man. And
yes, sir. Yes,
I had
sir.
a wonderful wife who didn't give up on me. And
wow,
these were through the good times. I mean, and the good times run out, and you got to go through your valley, and then there you are. Down there, and but it brings you to your knees, and I'm gonna just tell you this.
Yes,
it's very hard to get tripped up if you stay on your knees.
But you got to give that to us again. Say that again now.
It's very hard to get tripped up if you stay on your knees.
Right on, brother.
You feel what I'm saying?
I can feel it.
It's physically hard to do it, and it's spiritually hard to do it.
Come on now.
You can't trip nobody else if they're on their knees.
Yeah.
If you're on your knees, you ain't gonna get tripped up, because you're gonna get a direct dose of God's love, and He will get you up. He will get you up. But you gotta stay down on your knees. And that's a good something for us right now. Faith before fear. It's bringing a lot of people. A lot of people ain't had a reason to get on their knees for a while. They've not that they don't have a reason, but they've just not taken the time. But we have time now.
Yeah.
Let's give a second guess about things. It's giving us a lot of time to think, a lot of time to be together, a lot of time to just realign our worth and our values.
That's right.
And see and look around, man. Just look around.
Uh-huh.
You
Yeah,
know,
look
see
around. I feel
what
like
was there all the time, but we were too busy, you know.
you're busy. That's right. That's right. Or, I mean, you're right. That's dead on point because, you're in the house more time if we're blessed to be around family. We're around family more. If we're, pick up the phone and give a call, a lot more because you're right. We're here. We're made to focus right now.
Absolutely. You know, I have a little segment I do on there's kind of every week. It's called a love check, man. That I go check
Oh,
what?
yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's just a love check. I'm just checking on you, man,
Right
making
on.
sure you're okay. And I just said, tell somebody, keep giving your love checks, man.
Come on now.
Yeah.
And that love check goes, and I know they're feeling it too. I know they feel it because it works both ways.
That's right.
It works both ways. I mean, the emails and stuff after just do, and this whole thing of the Facebook quarantine, Brother Larry, it wasn't a big plan. It was I knew what I was going through, just to be real. I knew what this whole thing and episode was doing to me. And with my creativity, life itself, and I knew that when I would be on the phone with other people close in my life, I just said, man, let's talk about this. Let's share it with each other, and we can share it with each other, and then post it up there because maybe somebody else is digging the same thing we feeling right now. So we could help them. It can give an opportunity to uplift. And that's why I said Positivity Posse, and then to have souls like you with your career, with your life journey, with your ups and your success, and even being so real as talking about your lows and what having to hit your knees at a certain part of your life that brought you back. Brother, that's healing, man. And I know from even the people I see right here, that's to me what it's all about. I just to give I hardly talk about a lot of the stuff. I'm growing into it, but there was a point in my life, Brother Larry, where my brother and I, sister and I, we were blessed to be able to call Miss Nina Simone a type of family with us. And I remember that growing up, I had just learned my little chords. My guitar player's teacher's name, his name was Bernard Staten. He used to play with Al Green back in the day.
Okay.
But I was home and I learned my little chords, and I wrote my melody, and my sister had just started writing her lyrics, right? So I put it together and we played it for Sis Nina. And she was, she listened. She's very cordial. Oh, yeah. But then she said, now, okay. She took us to school. She said, you're an artist. You writing. You sing a little bit, but what are you getting ready to do with your artist? What is your responsibility to the world? What do you think? And that stuck with me for the rest of my life to this day. And that's in essence what you're just saying right now. With your Larry Dotson experience, Brother Larry, and taking us to school right now, what is Larry Dotson's message to the world from this point on?
First of all, and I do really, really mean this without getting too preachy.
Yes, sir.
We must always put God first.
Yes, sir.
Always, in all things that we do. And that's not a mindset that I've always had. I give you a little piece of something that I share in my book. Our first kid was born Down syndrome.
Okay.
And we're writing a book now. It's called Keep Looking Up When It's Downs. And it's my wife and I are writing the book. This is my second book, and it's all about our journey raising a Down syndrome child who is a very, very, very much a success story because, at the point that she was born, the doctor told us, maybe, well, don't get too attached because she's not going to make it past the teens. She'll be 49.
Come on now.
In September.
Come on. Right.
So you understand my point? And,
yes, sir.
We must always understand we have a purpose. Nothing is coincidental. All these things are pre-dawned, preconceived, always known. So, and once we start to wise up to that, we must understand that whatever we're doing, let's just be the best that we can do. Let's be honest. Let's be creative. And here's one, life is God's gift to you, and what you do with your life is your gift to God. And with that being said, you want to always try to be just the best that you can be, and whatever it is. And that's what I've learned to do. No matter what I do, and I've dipped into several different businesses and along the way, and I just try to do the best that I can. And sometimes the best that you can do kind of surprises you.
Come on now, that's right. That's right. And sometimes when we feel like the best that we are given may not be enough, man, what we may feel is a little bit of somebody's everything,
Yeah, and very good. I got to keep that one. I got to keep that one.
So I understand and respect exactly what you're saying, brother. And I have to talk about this because, as we know, I'm going back here to Watts Stax.
Okay.
With Watts Stax, brother Larry, 1972, I believe. Right. All right. And out here, I live in LA now. And I mean, it was LA Coliseum, 1972, Stax production. And it was during a period of time, if those of us who've seen the documentary, the film, the music-mentary that this icon of a film is, it was during a time, we're coming off of the 60s civil rights time. We're in the the early 70s. If I'm not mistaken, the whole 100,000 seat Coliseum was full that day. And with that inclusion, even though it was a Black power musicology of soul and funk, that, if I'm not mistaken, that production has now and even then crossed multicultural boundaries.
You're absolutely right. And remember now, Watts Stax, the concert was really birthed to be a healing for the Watts riots. Remember?
That's right. That's right.
From which it got its name. And Al Bell, who was then the president of Stax Records, he came to us with the idea, we want to do, let's do a concert talking to staple singers, to everybody. I got an idea about doing a concert. We got to go out there and help Los Angeles heal, help Watts heal. They didn't have any idea that it was just, they knew they wanted to film it, but they didn't have any idea it was going to end up being an iconic piece as it was. It was only $2 to get in.
Look at that.
It was made affordable to everybody. So at the time that we went on stage, I'll never forget, to this day, it's been the most people we've ever performed in front of at one time. It was 100,000 people there in that Coliseum, and none, I don't remember seeing any violence of any kind. The only thing that happened was when Rufus Thomas was on stage.
Right.
he just inadvertently, just without thinking, oh, come on down. Yeah. He had made a deal not to bother the field.
Okay.
Nobody was supposed to be on the field, but I'm gonna tell you what happened. We'll just talk about our Black brothers and sisters. Once they got on the field and started kind of storming and trying to get to the stage, he stopped and Al came on. I think Jesse Jackson came on right next to him, I do believe, and they just asked everybody to quietly go back into the stands, and that's what they did.
That's what they did.
No, it was nothing. You didn't see no fights or nothing in the movie. But it ended up being just an incredible concert. I mean, and you know what? The reason how we got to be, I guess it was based off our performance and how we looked and everything.
Yeah.
That was the trailer poster for, and it still is for Watts Stax even today.
You mean this right here, what I have here?
What you have there, that ended up being the trailer poster and the official poster for Watts Stax.
That's right. Watts Stax, and you brought up the point. It was a healing time for the Watts riots, which just brings back how powerful artistry over the years. If there was a war, somebody wrote a song about it. If there was a campaign, somebody drew a picture, something. So the power of art. And then to have Watts Stax, we were talking earlier with Wendy, which her mom is Wanda Vaughn of the Emotions, and who were also an integral part of this film with their Be Still performance, and that whole, people, if you have not experienced, I'm not going to just say see it, if you haven't experienced this Watts Stax documentary, please pick it up. please pick it up. And in my opinion, on the not disrespecting anyone,
I know where you're going with this.
Okay, Rance Allen and
oh my God,
everybody who performed. But when the Bar-Kays hit that camera shot on Watch That, and that costume was going, and the brother with the gold fro, and you're doing your thing, and then Larry Dotson pops out and does his Dotson on every. Bar-Kays hit the stage, in my opinion. Okay, do you get that a lot when it comes from the Watch That?
I do, and respectfully, I have to bring people back around because I'm a humble guy. You know, I wave my flag a lot, but I have to say, but you know, there were a lot of other great performances on there, and they agreed. But it was a dynamic performance, and I'm just tell you something that did not happen. So, Alan, we were all like, we used to spend time out at the Hyatt House, which is then called the Riot House out in L.A. Even though we didn't have a lot of money, but I tell you what we had planned to do, along with the white outfits, we had planned to come in on white horses and a white chariot. We were going to come from the dressing room to the stage, so it was going to be breathtaking. If you think the entry was going to be incredible,
right?
Well, as it had, Isaac Hayes got wind of it.
Okay.
So you know he was at the height of Shaft and all that, and it was his show. He was the star, and he was like, "Oh hell no!" We had called Metro Golden Mayer. We found the chariot. We had done everything. We was getting ready to clown, man.
Right on.
We were going to be talked about for a long time, but you know, respectfully, Isaac told me, I ain't doing that. I gotta say that for one of my stories too, man. You know, and I tell you, you know, but that's a true story, you know.
Oh man,
we're gonna cut up, man. We're gonna be before the show, after the show. We were just gonna it was gonna be over when we got through. Luckily, we had a good performance, so we ended up okay.
Yes, exactly. And it's like to stand the test, because I believe, Isaac Hayes closed the show, right? With his whole
he did. He was starting the show. He wasn't having it. He was not having it. He was not having that. I don't know how he found out. It leaked out. I don't care where he found out.
You know go ahead, brother.
Could you imagine if we had done that? If we had come out of our dressing room in a white horse and a white chariot? And all white.
It would have been funky, though.
It would have been funky. Yeah. But let me say again. He said, "Oh hell no,
right?"
That ain't happening. That ain't happening, boss. I like y'all. I love y'all. You know, but that ain't happening.
Oh, I love these stories, man.
Oh, yeah.
To be able to sit there, and that's what I wanted to share with everybody too. You know, I mean, we mentioned Unsung. Much respect to the production of Unsung and in their way of preserving, but the history and legacy. But to me, it's something more special, direct, intimate, and real of being able to sit down and hear these stories straight from it, from a Larry Dotson and later today, Clifton Davis, and so on and so on. You know, because we grew up, especially growing up in Memphis. I mean, come on, Bar-Kays, please, man.
You know.
That's home. I mean,
that's home, boy. Yeah, man.
You know how you say when you see those, it could have been Memphis, and then right in the brackets next to it, home of the Bar-Kays. You know, that's the way we grew up. So, but I want to ask you this: recording, and Wanda and I were talking about this too. The magic of creating that sound of everybody recording at one time in the room together, the whole band, while you're recording the material. And Wanda was mentioning how special it was for her and her sisters, especially the Stax times, of being, like you mentioned, Alex and James. Yeah. Well, did the Bar-Kays was that y'all's moniker as well? Recording
Absolutely. It was the way you did it back then. You know, it was in fact, I'll just tell you another little something. You know, during the time that the Bar-Kays were playing and doing Behind Isaac and doing one of the albums, I couldn't believe James got his name, Knuck, which is short for Knucklehead, because Imagine it. You got horn players here, you got string players here. Everybody's playing live, so it's gotta be done right. Because if anybody makes a mistake, you got to start over again.
Check it out.
So what James would James made, he would not deliberately, but he would somehow end up making his mistakes toward the end of the recording.
Lord have mercy.
He would have to stop, And thus became his name Nuck. For Knucklehead. He don't beat me up for that, but that's what I'm going to tell him. To be recording live, you had to do it. All that Soulfinger was done, man, in 30 minutes.
What?
Soulfinger was the result of a riff that the band used to go to after playing another song. They kind of added this little riff. Dun, 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 dun. That was something they used to go, just a riff.
Okay.
And when trying to get a deal, they got turned down 2 or 3 times, but this third time they came and they were playing that riff. Who was then the president? He said, "What is that?" And they said, "Well, we don't know. It's just something we played."
Yeah.
And David Porter came in. We all know him, an incredible and with Isaac Hayes and David Porter, that team. He heard it and he got some. He said, "Well, we need." They got to plant it, and Jim liked it, and they ordered some Coca-Colas and sent out for some kids to make the live thing. And 30 minutes later, man, they had Soulfinger. I mean, that was it.
Look at that.
Live, all done right there. That's magic. That's the magic that Wonder was talking about.
See there, and that what you call, I guess, instant funk. But what to me, as an artist as well, to be able to give it that in that time frame, that means it had to be, each musician was living it. You dig? I mean, you walk in, turn the recording on, but you see what I'm saying? That feel was there.
Yeah, that's the Memphis sound, and most of the guys did not read music. That's what's so incredibly good about the Memphis sound. It's earthy, it's natural, and Motown was caviar and champagne, and Stax was collard greens and cornbread and Kool-Aid. It was all good. It all tastes good, but it's just from different people. Yeah. We were that, man. And once we got it, we got it. I mean, once we rehearsed it a couple of times, and you had to be accurate. Now you had to be accurate, but just think how much weight it was on the artists who had one time to get it right. It wasn't no going back and recording them. We didn't even have the capabilities to do that. You had to be right there. And I was telling Wendy, I mean, emotions were like the dramatics. We played on all those. What you see, what you get, all those records.
Right.
Crosscut Saw by Albert King. Oak Salad Annie.
Come on now.
I mean, just one-take things, man. A lot of them. And Otis was another guy who those guys, Johnny Taylor, all those guys, man, they were like one-take guys. They got it. And that was incredible as a singer for me to even be in a room with them and watch all that. So man, it was college on steroids.
Wow. See there, and brother, while you were talking, my mind, and I know I'm not the only one who was just listening and watching this, I spaced for a minute because you took us there. You took us in the session, in the feeling, in the vibe of everything, of the performance in the studio. And then when we went and bought the record or we heard it on the radio, come on, man, it transformed even to this day. To me, that's what has kept it alive, because it's connected to that soul of our souls multi-generationally. Man, we can feel it.
Just think how you feel here 40 years later when you hear When Something Is Wrong with My Baby.
Exactly.
I mean, it's like they recorded it yesterday.
Like they did it yesterday.
Shock of the Baby by Otis Redding. Oh my God, man! Those are incredible songs, man, and that's not taken away from Philadelphia sound.
No,
anything, but everybody had a niche. You could tell when the Philadelphia International record came on with the Spinners and Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes. You could tell when the Supremes and Temptations and Marvin, who incidentally we played on Marvin Gaye's last tour. The
Look,
last leg of his tour, we had the pleasure of playing with him and watching the girls go crazy when he
yeah,
every
yeah,
night when he did
yeah.
Distant Lover.
Right on, man. Right.
Oh
Talk
my
about
God, man! This guy,
interpretation.
oh, he was like incredible
Yeah,
every night. Haley's flew on the stage. It was all of that,
exactly.
all of that. So we hadn't seen no stuff like that, you know. We hadn't seen.
Well, you know what, Brother Leg, what do you miss about those days in particular? I'm going to say the 70, early 80s Barcase days. Do you have things that you miss?
I miss the. I miss the. I miss the songs because those are the songs that made videos go up in your minds. You know, I have to say that some of the songs, some of the stuff that's coming out now is rather shallow,
Mm-hmm.
and it doesn't create generational wealth because the songs that won't get ever played again or
Mm-hmm.
redone. You know, just think how many times you can pick any song from any artist at Stax,
Yeah.
or think of the time My Girl has been recorded, re-recorded.
Okay.
You understand
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
Those are songs that just like uh, have no end.
Mm-hmm.
Just have no end because they were written from a place, Tears of a Clown.
Yeah.
You know, you just they have no end because they were written from such a wonderful, heartfelt place. But I mean, you know, all due respect, I mean, who gonna re-record back that ass up? I
There
mean,
you go. I got you. I
all
got you.
due respect, all
I got
respect, but as an example, I mean, just
right.
no. Once it's
Right.
gone, it's gone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I miss the and from the '80s when you had the Gap Band and
Yeah.
Commodores and the Barcades and Confunction and Ohio
Mhm.
Players all on the same show, man.
Come
You know,
on. Now.
I
Come
miss the
on.
competitiveness of that.
Exactly. Got
We
you.
were all cool till we went on stage, and then it was like cutthroat there, man. Everybody had a knife in their hand, you know what I'm saying? And they would give you that little look when they came off. I got you. They come
I
behind
got you now, right?
you know, I miss that. You know, we
I
could all
got you.
talk and drink and have champagne after, but they knew on that stage, I got you tonight.
I got you right now.
Or vice versa. You got me tonight, man. You call me with my pants down, you know. I see you tomorrow night, and I see you tomorrow night in Dallas. We would. I miss that. I miss that.
Oh man, you know what? But it kept you on your toes, right? It kept that,
Know it.
and there was a love and respect between the bands. Am I right? I mean, even though there was that competition, there was a, hey, I respect what you're doing because I know what you're doing. I know what you're feeling when you're hitting that stage. But you're gonna see me do my thing right now.
Come on, man. Because we did night after night after night. Like I said, we laughed, talked, and joked until we got on
Till
stage.
you got on stage.
It was every man for himself, you know.
All bets off.
And the minute, and I'm gonna tell you something else. Even in our bad boy days, at a certain time
Yeah.
on that bus, we closed them shades because we all had individual bus. We going to sleep because we know what's coming tomorrow. Larry Blackman and Cameo are gonna be on our butts, or George or somebody gonna be after us. You know, Gap, Charlie Wilson, Gap,
Yeah.
somebody gonna be after us. We gotta be after somebody. Oh, we up at night. We didn't, talking and sitting around and on the bus, man. We got our butt kicked tonight. You know, whatever that was, that can't happen no more.
Hey, but the band played on. We kept
the
on
band
going.
plays on. That's absolutely. I
Oh,
miss
man.
that. I miss that. I miss that. I miss that. And because of that, I now own a tour called the Masters of Funk.
Yes.
And all those bands I was telling you about, we all perform together. Sometimes 4 of us, 5 of us a night. It's a nonstop show. There's no plugging up, no unplugging. We play straight through. Sometimes with each other, and we don't do nothing but the hits. And the camaraderie of that it's incredible. It's incredible. I own the tour, and I did not always own it. It was started out with United We Funk All Stars, which was comprised of Charlie Wilson, the Barcade, SOS Band, Gap Band, and the Daz Band. Super Band. We came to Memphis.
My word.
We rented a warehouse. We rehearsed for about a month, and we got this show in because nobody had ever seen anything like that. I'm from time if we come on at 7, we don't start playing at 10, and nobody ever unplugged to where this group got to wait 30 minutes or the next group comes on. None of that. We just moved in and out, and when it was the transitions was like 8 and 10 seconds. So when the Bar-Kays did 2 songs, and when we hit our last note, looked up again, the Dansby were on stage, and it just was incredible.
Non-stop funk.
Non-stop, and everybody's playing their hits, so they know sitting down.
Yeah. That's what I was going to ask you. With a lineup like that, and 10-second in and out with that, that's a non-stop. You're going to sit down. Why? Because you're getting right back up.
No sitting down.
But I can understand how you could miss those times, because even us as the fans and the lovers of the music of that time, we missed that.
Yes. We
missed that.
Yeah, our age, I'm 69, so over the past few years, we've sort of turned away from radio, and I do understand why that demographic has turned away from radio, because it got to be kind of weird and goofy,
You dig it.
The subject matter was weird, and it's just something that our demographics didn't care for. So to have concerts like that, that's when they go out and they say, "Oh my God!" I remember when this came up. I remember the first time I heard Fire, going even further back. The video goes off in your head. You remember what you were doing. It was in the back.
That's right.
Being goofy, whatever you was doing.
Right.
You remember it.
See there, and that's what all of us, like I was saying, we want. So when the Masters of Funk tour is happening, we're gonna be there. You did?
Yeah, man.
When one of our favorite bands, and you know what makes us proud too, Brother Larry, as the fans? We are proud, man, when we see you and your counterparts and your other, your brothers of the funk and soul of that era hit the stage now. It's still funky.
Yeah,
it's still full of soul, And like I said, I know I ain't the only one. There's so many other people watching this. I mean, come on, it's still there.
It's still there, and big doses. I'm telling you, I'm amazed sometimes, and I'm gonna tell you, in another genre that really, I go see some of these '70s shows, man.
Yeah.
With the the main ingredient, the Shy-Lites, and all those groups, and Harold Evans Blue. Even though some of the original guys are gone and they have replacement stuff, some of those stylistics and they're funny. Some of those guys are still so good, man.
Yes, they are, brother. Yes, they are.
You watch the audiences, and the audience of 55, 65, 70 years old and older.
Yeah.
But man, those guys take you back to a place where you ain't been in a long time.
Come on now.
And when we do the Master Funk thing, they just blown away. They can't believe that we still sound as good as we do. Not just the Bar-Kays. I mean, the players are, and all of us are such good friends, man. Never had an argument, never nothing. Nothing, not one. I can't remember one. We've been doing this since 1999. Nobody, of course we disagree sometimes on some things, but it's never been anything out the ordinary.
Gotcha. Which, commendable. Respect, my brother Larry. I know that just this segment here that we're doing, there's no way that we can answer every question about Larry Dotson. There's no way we can answer every question about the Bar-Kays. But the time that you've given us right now, brother, was so much history, wisdom, insight on funk itself, the history of the Bar-Kays. What's coming up now for the Bar-Kays itself? Like, I know that there's before we go there, your retirement from the Bar-Kays. When you retired, right? How long has it been now, Brother Larry?
I retired 2.5 years ago, and and the short story of that was really, as I said, I've been married. This will be 50 years, and my wife and I just wanted to really kind of stop.
Okay.
And just spend some real romantic time together. We're not worried about the road, and we've been okay. Financially, we were okay. We were going to just maybe take a little second place in Florida, keep our own property here, and kind of go back and forth and doing those things. And it ended up being a real bad idea, though, for me, because I did not know that even with the things I was doing, writing and speaking and doing stuff, nothing takes the place of the stage. So rather than me going back to the Bar-Kays, which I still, have ownership in, I said, you know what, let me try a solo career and do some stuff that I've never done, and before I ride up into the sunset. And so about a year and a half after I retired, I started getting a real bad itch, man. People calling me, man, what's wrong with you, man? I'm retiring, man. I'm through. And everybody knew but me that I wasn't going to last. I mean, they didn't give me, they were betting in LA that I was going to last 6 weeks, a month, and whatever. But I put a new band together, put a new show together. And my first concert as a solo career was on the Tom Joyner cruise with Janet Jackson, Maxwell, Frankie Beverly, Charlie. So I came back with a thing, and I've been doing that since.
Right on, man. It's something about that stage, that energy from the fans.
Oh, it's indescribable, man. I like I said, everybody knew with me.
I got you.
Everybody knew with me. They knew I was gonna come back.
You know what?
I got good stuff coming, and I'm working on really. I can't tell you too much, but I'm working on really good stuff. And although we're shut down right now, I have high hopes that perhaps maybe in late fall, maybe things will get back to some sort of normalcy for concert. Certainly in 2021, we'll be back out in full effect, and everything will be fine. And I've had two really big honors since I've been off. One was we have a foundation which we support. We've already supported HBCUs, but we support Lemoyne College for the last 10 years. We've been sending at least 1 or 2 kids to school over there.
Wow!
I was honored with an honorary doctorate from Lemoyne.
From Lemoyne.
And most recently, I've had a street named after me here in Memphis. So,
where is it, Brother Larry? What street?
In Whitehaven. It's in Whitehaven.
Oh, okay.
Larry Dotson Way. We haven't really.
On, brother.
So those are things that I don't ask for, but those are honors that have been bestowed upon me that are really, really special for me.
And well deserved. Well deserved, brother. Your history of your artistry to the world and being from Memphis, all of my other fellow Memphians, man, you make us proud. And you've always made it.
I'm trying. And just before I get out of here, man, I'll just make sure that everybody understands that my Guidance Whiskey, man, which I am the face of, they call me the captain of that one.
You talk about this right here?
That one right there. Please go to Guidance Whiskey. Look, go to www.guidancewhiskey.com. Wherever you are in the country, and order you a bottle of this incredible whiskey. And you can connect with me on IG, Facebook, Twitter, all the social media platforms, and you can see what Uncle Larry's doing. Wendy, I'm officially telling you, I'm Uncle Larry to you now, from now on, Wendy.
Right
so
on.
Whenever you address me, I'm not Mr. Nasa, I'm Uncle Larry. I'm enjoying this, man. I'm enjoying it.
Live, and what that young lady is so incredible. I asked her to come on, please join our team. We're gonna take this another step, And I have to co-sign on this Guidance Whiskey, brother. I'm usually like my wine or champagnes is when I want a libate, right? But when I want something with some bottom to it, I'll go to my single malt Scotch.
Okay.
My American whiskey.
Okay. This
Guidance right here, lady, and I know I got a lot of my other whiskey lovers on here too. This Guidance is smooth. This Guidance it's not a strong vanilla thing. You still know it's a barrel, it's a single, but it has a smoothness, man, it's top shelf. It's top shelf. So,
I appreciate that.
I done been turning folk on to it as well, my brother. But Larry Dotson, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only, the trendsetter himself, musically, fashion-wise, father, husband, grandfather. Thank you for your time, brother. Thank you for your wisdom. Thank you for your ministry today. And I just can't, I can't wait to be able to hopefully do this again with you, man. I really can't.
Whatever, whenever, and if anybody's got any questions that we can maybe take 1 or 2 before I get out of here, I'm okay with that. I'm okay.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, special occasion. Let me go to my phone where I can see the comments coming up. And Wendy, if you have it where you can put it on our screen, let's try that as well. Let's go here. Oh, wow. Yeah, they've been coming in, brother. Charles Giovanni from Cleveland, Ohio. Ohio in the building. Kenny Anderson, my good brother Kenny Anderson, a promoter out there in Huntsville, Alabama. Love the old school funk. You guys are putting it down. Over our fans in Brazil, Yvette Martinez.
Wow.
Yes, Brazil is in the house right now. Yvette, thank you for coming and joining in. Back with Kenny Anderson. Oh man, we have it's about 8 so far. Brazilian musicians coming in that are sending the love. Muito obrigado, Brasil. Muito obrigado. Eu dou você por você aqui com agora. Muito obrigado. And oh wow, here we go. Amsterdam. Love the funk.
Wendy just shot me one. She says, if I out of three songs, which is my favorite song to perform, and I think it's Anticipation.
Oh,
she said, "Wow."
and that, brother, where did that that come from? And that anticipation. I know it's a natural thing, but you know, where did that styling come from?
It's one of my signatures. I don't know, man. You know, you happen in the moment, and when you do it once or twice, it becomes some of your signatures. You know, and it's all part of the recording. My God, when we did Anticipation, there's another little story. I got a million stories. The reason why the trombone solo is so long is because when Frank was on the floor recording trombone solo, the Temptations sneaked in to the vocal booth. Sneaked into the recording room, and when Frank saw them, he went crazy fan. He's like, "Oh," he started to make so. He is looking up and seeing David and all the guys in the Temptations.
Right.
So we just let him go on and on and on, man. And that's how that solo got to be so long. You can only get that kind of stuff from me, man. See?
Yeah, man. You know what? And it's like, now we got another question coming in. Okay. What is your? Oh, this is from Munich, Germany.
Wow.
What was your favorite city to perform over the years?
Over the years, Phoenix, Arizona.
Okay.
Phoenix, Arizona. Okay. There's a venue there that I just love to play. It's in the round. It's always sold out, and it's something about we get a great Latino turnout.
Right on.
There, along with my brothers and sisters, and a lot of white audience, but it's such a pleasant mixture of the audience always there. I just like it.
That was at Phoenix, Arizona. You know, we got they're still coming in, brother. Brother Larry, I just want to thank you. I didn't want to take up all
no, we're gonna do that. That's enough.
But oh man, just the fact that you opened it to do that. Thank you, brother. I just didn't want to disrespect your time.
No.
It's on there the whole time. Oh, we got Memphis in the house.
All the rest of the questions for the next time I come on.
Yeah, well, Memphis in the house is sending love. Everybody, you know. Brother, thank you again, Larry. Thank you, man. And much respect, Larry Jr. Thank you, brother. And y'all keep it. Y'all keep it. We're gonna be all right. This positivity train is rolling. Keep that positivity moving. And what Brother Larry shared today, it's just fuel to the fire. That positivity burn, y'all. And we thank you so much.
All right.
Take it easy now.
All righty.
Bye-bye.